Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome you all to Bhishma Stuti. So before we begin, how was Vrindavan Yatra, Ramya Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, it was a blissful experience, Mataji. Absolutely divine and very nice. Actually, everybody was telling it, stepping into Vrindavan is, only with the help of Krishna and Radharani's mercy. Otherwise, it's not possible. So, really felt blessed, Mataji, to be part of that and the yatra. And
Mataji, we lost you, Mataji. We could
Yeah.
not hear you,
oh, Hare-
Mataji.
oh, is it? Can you
Yeah.
hear me now,
Now we
Now,
Prabhuji?
can hear
now
you.
fine,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Oh, okay, okay. Where did you lose me, Prabhuji? Like from start,
Yeah.
you couldn't hear?
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
yeah. You said everyone was, all of them were telling that it is where people are very fortunate to
Krishna and
land
Radha.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhuji. And what I was telling is we covered most of the places as per plan. We started at 3 a.m. every day. 3:55 is our bus. And then daily we went to ISKCON Vrindavan to see the Mangal Aarti. So that was very nice. We visited Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada's museum was also there. And then after that, our yatra started. And we visited lots of places. And the good thing was every temple or every place we visited, they told us the significance of that place and the story behind, they narrated it so beautifully. Predominantly it was in Hindi, but still we could understand. And then also we try to do kirtan wherever possible. And they gave us a Raj book for it all 3 times. It's like they're like devotees were like serving so beautifully, and it was a very good thing to associate with so many devotees also. We saw Madan Mohan, Radha Damodar. We visited that Kalinga Gut where that Kalinga Leela happened, no? That Nartana Tillana. Then we visited Vrinda Kund. We visited Barsana, Radha Rani's place. Then we also visited Mathura, Krishna Janmabhoomi. We saw that entire the place where Krishna was born, everything. Similarly, we also went to Rawalkund just to see where Radha Rani was born. I mean, the place where she was, and they also told the two boons she got. Wherein, till that she said she'll not open her eyes or she'll eat anything till she meets Krishna, and how Krishna came and that happened. All that they narrated so very beautifully. We experienced, and the places were really charged. I mean, some places we just could feel the vibration so much. And when we chanted Hare Krishna, it was, I'm not getting the right words, but it is so blissful. Mataji. It was a very divine experience, and very nice to see all the devotees also. Everybody were like volunteering to do in all possible ways selflessly. It is a very nice experience, Mataji.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very nice. I can feel, how what you felt in your voice, in your the way you are narrating. Yeah, the bliss, the real bliss. It's coming out through
Yeah.
the words. Nice.
Thank you, Mataji.
That is
Definitely wonderful.
yeah. See, that is the power of devotee association. We also can go, like with our family alone, we can go, but that this kind of charged atmosphere, this kind of enchanted feel, all that will not be there. When you go in
Definitely.
devotee association, the whole thing is different. Dham reveals in the presence of devotee.
Mm.
Because we are not devotees, we have pure devotees with us. Dham will reveal to them. Through them, we will also see the Dham. right?
Yes,
Uh,
Mataji. And to be very honest, every day we were supposed to be in the bus by 3:45 a.m. Mataji to see the Mangal Aarti. And I am someone who has never woken up so early, okay, in my lifetime. This was, and I was wondering how I'm able to do, but with Krishna's and Radharani's mercy, we felt so energetic at 3 a.m. in the morning. We woke up, we took bath, and then we got ready 3:30, 3:45, we were in the bus. So, every day we started enjoying that. So it is very nice.
Haribol, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and taking Dham, I mean Ekadashi in Dham, that is a fortune.
Yeah, that was another beautiful thing, Mataji. Ekadashi and also Mahashivratri also fell
Ah,
correctly during our visit. So, and we were the miraculous thing which happened was they mornings we covered all the places till afternoon. Evenings we had the ISKCON president and some great devotees coming and sharing their Krishna stories and all, which we and sometimes what happened we when we were free in the evening we tried to explore the other places which we could not cover in the yatra. So some of us clubbed together and we went within Vrindavan. And the best thing was on the day of Shivratri, not Shivratri, Pradosham was there, and next day was Shivratri, Mataji. That day, so we were never. There's Gopeshwar temple, which is very famous there in ISKCON.
yeah,
Shiva
Gopeshwar.
came as a gopi to see Krishna. So it's a very, and they said that anyone who's come to Vrindavan, it will be good if you see. When we went to Vrindakund, they told the story and they told us it will be good if you see Gopeshwar before you leave. But that was not part of our agenda. So I was thinking how to go and all. And that day evening, class got over. Me and my mom, we thought, okay, we have time at 7 o'clock only. We'll catch an auto and go. We went alone. We got an auto. It was all magical, Mataji. We don't know anybody. We don't know the place. But we got one nice e-rickshaw fellow, and he actually dropped us, and we saw like they took us towards Gopeshwar temple. It was like one girl came suddenly from somewhere. Like when VIP darshan, we saw Gopeshwar so very closely. And then when we came back, that auto person was waiting, and then he took us and brought us back to the hotel. It was all definitely miraculous experience, Mataji.
Haribol, very nice. Yeah, it is said that Gopeshwar Mahadev, he is actually guarding even Goloka, right? If you want to gain entry to Goloka, we have to first get the sanction of Shiva. Otherwise, we cannot go to Goloka. That's why we have to pray. That's why Shivratri, what ISKCON says is during Shivratri, you have to go to Shiva temple. Whatever work you have, keep everything aside, go to Shiva temple and ask him for pure devotion service from the Lord because to the Lord because he is Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambho. He is the best of the Vaishnavas. Right? So on that day, he's so happy that whatever you ask, he will give. So do not ask for material, ask for spiritual. And he is the only, you know, with due respect to all the demigods, he's the only demigod who will give you instant Krishna prema or Krishna bhakti because he is the best Vaishnava. Right? So that's the power of Shiva. Hari bol.
Haribol, Mataji.
Very nice.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mataji, for sharing your experience.
Hare
And
Krishna Mataji.
yeah,
Hare Krishna.
Hari Krishna. Now let's begin. The Bhishma Stuti we were doing. Let's continue. So,
Mataji,
yeah.
before I wanted to say about Archana Mataji last week only, Mataji. Archana Mataji is also a teacher with us.
Mhm.
Mataji is taking rest now. She was my batchmate. Mataji was my batchmate in level 3. So Archana Mataji is also a very senior devotee.
Hari bol. Very
Yeah,
nice.
Archana Mataji is here.
Hare,
Mataji
Hare
wanted
Krishna
to
Prabhu.
join the class, and so I sent the link to Mataji, and Mataji then joined. So
Oh my God, I'm humbled. Senior devotees, I have no qualification to speak. Something I'm speaking, that's it. Every class I come and speak. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Mataji
Prabhuji.
takes both English class and Tamil class also, Mataji. So
Hari bol. Very nice.
Actually, I was acting as a co-host in the English batch, and in Tamil, I was taking class, Mataji.
Yeah.
Because English, there were so many people to take class. So in Tamil language, there were less people, so I went there. But I did all my Bhakti Shastri, everything in English only. So I am here, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Mataji has also done 108 rounds, Mataji.
Hare Bol.
Yeah.
One sounds chanting.
Yes, Mataji. We were all inspired by Lalita Narayan Mataji. So,
Hare Bol.
yeah.
Very
Yes,
nice.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Mataji, you're very senior. If I make any mistakes, please do forgive. Hare Krishna.
No, Mataji, I am also like you only. I'm not senior, Mataji. Hare Krishna. We are all on the same pace, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So please repeat after me. First, I will read the verse, full verse, and then line by line, you all can repeat. Sapadi sakhi vachu nishamya madhye nija parayor balayoratham niveshya stitavati parasi sainikayurakshna hritavati partha sakeratiirmamastu. You all can repeat. Sapadi sakhi vacho nishamya madhye
Sapadi
nija parayor balayoratham niveshya
Nija Balayoratam Niveshya
Pravati parasainikayurakshna
Sitayati
Hritavati partha sakheratiirmamastu.
Ritavati Partha Sakirati
Translation. In obedience to the command of his friend, Lord Sri Krishna entered the arena of battle of Kurukshetra between the soldiers of Arjuna and Duryodhana, and while there he shortened the lifespans of the opposite party by his merciful glance. This was done simply by his looking at the enemy. Let my mind be fixed upon that Krishna. Who wants to read the purport?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
In the Bhagavad Gita 1.21 to 25, Arjuna ordered the infallible Lord Sri Krishna to place his chariot between the phalanxes of the soldiers. He asked him to stay there until he had finished observing the enemies he had to face in the battle. When the Lord was so asked, he at once did so, just like an order carrier. And the Lord pointed out all the important men on the opposite side, saying, "Here is Bhishma, here is Drona," and so on. The Lord, being the supreme living being, is never the order supplier or order carrier of anyone, whoever he may be. But out of his causeless mercy and affection for his pure devotees, sometimes he carries out the order of the devotee like an awaiting servant. By executing the order of a devotee, the Lord becomes pleased, as a father is pleased to carry out the order of a small child. This is possible only out of pure transcendental love between the Lord and his devotees, and Bhishma Deva was quite aware of this fact. He therefore addressed the Lord as the friend of Arjuna. The Lord diminished the duration of life of the opposite party by his merciful glance. It is said that all the fighters who assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained salvation by personally seeing the Lord at the time of death. Therefore, his diminishing the duration of life of Arjuna's enemy does not mean that he was partial to the cause of Arjuna. Factually, he was merciful to the opposite party because they would not have attained salvation by dying at home in the ordinary course of life. Here was a chance to see the Lord at the time of death and thus attain salvation from material life. Therefore, the Lord is all good, and whatever he does is for everyone's good. Apparently, it was for the victory of Arjuna, his intimate friend, but factually, it was for the good of Arjuna's enemies. Such are the transcendental activities of the Lord, and whoever understands this also gets salvation after quitting this material body. The Lord does no wrong in any circumstance because He is absolute, all good at all times. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, which quality does this represent? Which quality of Krishna does this represent? He being the order carrier of his devotees.
Bhaktavatsala.
Bhakta Vatsala, Haribol. Anything for his devotees. Anything for his pure devotees, right? So, here that's what it said. Just like an order carrier, right? Arjuna, Krishna was just following whatever Arjuna told. See, a charioteer is supposed to be a Shudra position, right? Kshatriya sits like a passenger, like an owner of the chariot, and a charioteer is the driver, right? Or Shudra position. So it is said that Krishna doesn't even hesitate to take a position of the Shudra, right? Just to please his devotees, right? And also he is called Achyuta. Why is he called Achyuta? Where does the name come from? Because of this. Although he does chores or things that a lord or some senior positioned person doesn't do, right? He does such things. Still, he doesn't fall from his position. He's still the supreme personality of Godhead, right? But in our case, it's different. If we go do menial tasks, then we might nobody will call us, oh, what she's some chief minister of the society of the country, I mean state, and she's going and doing sweeping work, right? People will laugh and do all that, right? But because it is the supreme lord, he's infallible. Even if he does such things, people we as devotees, we understand it's the love for his devotees that is coming out, right? In the form of all this, right? So there are so many examples where Krishna performed the carried out the orders of his devotees, right? So that indicates the Bhaktavatsala nature. See here, what is happening? Who is this in the picture?
Sudama.
Sudama.
Sudama Mataji.
Yeah. So what is Krishna doing to Sudama?
Washing his feet, Mataji.
Washing his feet. Very nice. It's said in Bhagavad Gita, I mean Bhagavatam, actually it is said that Krishna washed the feet of Sudama with his tears. Can you imagine? Along with water, tears were also flowing like ocean. And because he saw his friend a long time later, he met his friend, and he just couldn't stop crying, right? And also Sudama is a Brahmana, right? So as a Kshatriya, Krishna showed all of us how a Brahmana needs to be respected. So that's why his feet is being washed here, and Rukmini Devi is also supporting, right? So Krishna is a god, right? He's not Kshatriya, Shudra, or Vaishya, or whatever. He's transcendental, he's supreme personality of Godhead. Still, he's sitting on the floor, and Sudama is offered an elevated seat. Can you imagine? See, right? That is how the Lord is. For his devotees, for his friends, he's ready to do anything, right? Like just like this, you can see here in the picture. He carries the footwear of Nanda Baba on his head personally and delivers it to him. Can you imagine? As a small child, you can see he's even struggling to walk that time, right? But he's doing whatever little service he can for to his parents, setting an example to all of us that we need to serve our parents, right? And Prabhupada says in this context, the best service you can do to your parents is you need to become stronger devotee, so that your parents will, the path of liberation for your parents will get smoother and smoother and smoother. Can you imagine? This is the best service you can do for your parents, Prabhupada says. And here, what is happening? A huge assembly. What assembly is this?
Has Krishna gone to negotiate for the Pandavas in Dhritarashtra's court, Mataji? Is that the one?
I think I think the picture is like that, but this is actually this Rajasuya Yajna that Yudhishthir Maharaj performs, right? What
Oh,
did Krishna do in Rajasuya Yajna? Anyone knows? What was his service?
You are speaking of the plates, Mataji? The served plates?
Maybe, but there's one more service with
He
maybe.
washed the feet of no.
She is washing the foots of lotus feet of everyone's. There
Yeah, he was
says
washing the feet, and along with that,
that I don't know, Mataji.
he
Sorry,
was
I
arranging the slippers. Can you imagine? Not only was he washing the feet of all the guests, he was taking their slippers out and arranging them in a shelf. Can you imagine? Like a, oh my God, what can we say? Who does this? Tell me who does this? How much ever you love a person, how much ever you want to serve a person, who will go and touch their slippers and arrange them and in a shoe rack and wash their feet? Nobody does this. But Krishna was doing it. For whose pleasure? Yudhishthir Maharaj's pleasure. Right? And Yudhishthir Maharaj is like a friend of Krishna, best friend, right? All the Pandavas actually, and Arjuna is the most intimate friend, and Yudhishthir Maharaj is also one of his best friends. And for the pleasure of Yudhishthir Maharaj, Krishna was doing this personally. Okay, and also Yudhishthir Maharaj's glory also increased. Everybody was started talking, oh, look at the reception we got. Krishna himself received us so nicely, and glory of Yudhishthir Maharaj was actually increasing, right? So for his devotees, he can do anything, he can go to any extent. So that's why I think I told you in the last class, right? It's a very famous joke, that Prabhupada was once asked by some devotee, I want to become God. So Prabhupada is like, you want to become God or you want to become greater than God? Right? So devotee is always greater than God. And here, Damodar Leela, we all know, right? Like a helpless child, Arjuna is getting bound by, Krishna is getting bound by Yashoda Mata, right? Can you imagine? And then Yashoda Mata takes a stick and runs behind Krishna, chastise him, to scold him whenever he does any mistake, or wherever he needs to be corrected. Yashoda Mata used to scold him, used to hit him with a stick, chase him, bind him like this, right? Just like a small child, how we take care of our children, same way, right? So yeah, Krishna was acting so helpless, right? Very beautiful it is. It's That's why some people say it's very ironical. Kunti Maharani says, right? Yeah, vidambanam, your pastimes are so vidambanam, bewildering Krishna, right? You are unborn though you take birth. Right? Can you imagine? That is Krishna. uh, yeah, so now in the puppet, there comes a line which says, mm, uh, merciful glance, right? By Krishna's merciful glance, he diminished the duration of all the opposite party people. Now, what does this mean? Merciful glance ka matlab? Diminishing a lifespan of a person, matlab it is killing that person, right? Or making that person die faster, no? How is this merciful?
He gave mukti to them.
Okay, but he could have waited, no, till they become old. Then only he could have given mukti, no? Why did he diminish the lifespan for that? You are right.
So,
Still,
so that they need not struggle more in the material world. Mataji.
okay, they shouldn't struggle more. Yeah. Any other answers? So by diminishing the lifespan, what is the guarantee they will not struggle? Because they will take next janma, again become demons, again start irritating others also, and they also. Then how is it merciful?
Mataji, whoever passed away in front of Lord, they all got liberated, Mataji.
Haribol. Yeah, all your answers are correct. I was just kidding. Okay. So, yeah, exactly. So, whoever Prabhupada writes now in the purport, had they died in their homes, right, then they would have missed this chance, right? This bumper offer that they got. To die in front of Krishna is also fortunate, right? And Hiranyakashipu and all of them, Krishna personally came and killed them, right? So, at least they got to see Krishna at least at the time of death, right? Unlike all of us here. So that's why Prabhupada says if they had died separately in their homes without Krishna's presence, then they wouldn't. Their death would be very ordinary, just like yours and mine. right? Because they died in the battlefield, in the presence of Krishna, they are all glorified today, right? Their death is glorified. It's recorded in the scriptures, right? So here, what happens? The next part of the story, right? So what happened to all these opposite party people who died in the presence of Krishna, right? So as Mataji said, they all got liberated, right? So now, what kind of liberation is the question? Any idea? What kind of liberation they got? We have 5 types of liberation, right? Either you go to Vaikuntha or you get merged in the Brahma Jyoti. So what kind of liberation do you think these people got who died in front of Krishna? No idea?
Samipya Mukti.
Okay. Are you sure?
Maybe Mataji.
Okay, see, actually, this is very well explained by Parashar Muni. Okay, this comes in one of the purports of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I thought I'll just take little glimpse. So Hiranyakashipu, okay, also died in the hands of the Lord, right? But he never got Vaikuntha Mukti. He again came back, right? He never got Mukti. He again came back as Ravana, right? Why? The reason is he failed to recognize Lord Narasimha Dev as Lord. He just thought, okay, this is some nice, different unicorn animal. Okay, he failed to recognize that he is the Lord because Narasimha Dev was two in one, right? The human form and the lion form together. So Hiranyakashipu had not seen such a form ever in history. Nobody had seen. So he failed to recognize him as Lord Vishnu. Right? So because he did not even know that he is Lord Vishnu, he did not get any mukti. Although he got killed by the hands of Narasimhadev. Okay? But rather what happened? He came back and since because he was killed by the hands of the Lord, he became the proprietor of unlimited opulence. Ravana was the richest, right? Yeah, Hiranyakashipu was also richest, but Ravana was supreme proprietor of unlimited opulence, right? And when he came back as Ravana, what happened to him? He also died in the hands of Lord Ram only, but still, he was not given mukti. Why? Because he did not accept Ram as Lord. Right? See, Hiranyakashipu did not even know Narasimhadev was Lord. But Ravana, everybody told him, Lord Ram is not an ordinary king, he's the Lord himself. He knew he's the Lord himself, but he never accepted it. Right? That's the difference between Hiranyakashipu and Ravana. Right? Ravana was so ignorant. I mean, he was actually in the mode of passion. Hiranyakashipu was in the mode of ignorance. Ravana was in the mode of passion that he did not want to accept Lord Ram as the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he came back as Shishupal. Okay. Now, in the when he came back as Shishupal, he again died in the hands of the Lord only, Krishna only. But he got moksha, right? He got liberation. Why? The difference is that he always thought of the beautiful features of the Lord, right? Always he was thinking of Krishna. How? Because Krishna was more like a competitor for Shishupal, right? Shishupal wanted to marry Rukmini actually, but Krishna came and married Rukmini. So in all sense, actually, he was also a king, he was also a king, right? So in all sense, more or less, age was also not much difference, right? Same age also. So in every way, he was like a competitor, and Shishupal was always thinking about Krishna, right? Always thinking about Krishna, but not favorably, of course, but always thinking about the form of the Lord. Oh, now Krishna will do that. I'll have to do something to, prove myself better. Like this way, okay? So he was in constant remembrance of Krishna as Krishna, right? So he knew very well Krishna is the Lord, and he was thinking about Krishna in the form of Krishna only, right? Not in any other form. And he also accepted very well, okay, he's the Lord. That's why he was constantly sketching, pre-planning what to do, how to, he's very powerful, so how to, my plan should be more powerful, because he had completely accepted Krishna is powerful, Krishna is the Lord, right? And he was also thinking of the feature of the Lord as it is, the beautiful feature of the Lord, right? And so because of this, smaranam, because of the smaranam devotion service that he did, his sins were completely dissolved. Can you imagine? Right? And he got liberation. Sayujya Mukti. Because he was not offering favorable devotional service. Yes, he was also thinking about the Lord, smaranam, but unfavorably, right? He wanted to win over the Lord. He did not want to please the Lord. So because of this difference, he got Sayujya Mukti. He did not enter Vaikuntha. Sayujya means you'll be outside of Vaikuntha, like in the veranda or something, compound, but you cannot gain entry into the Vaikuntha, right? So Prabhupada explains it this way, that going inside the sun or just going and say, rotating, like in a satellite, if you have a spaceship and if you go, you cannot go inside the sun because sun is so has fire and all that. You'll just be going and rotating around the sun only, right? Same way, you will not be gaining entry into the Vaikuntha. So same thing happened to Shishupal, okay? And so what happened? So they again came back. So who do you think Shishupal is? He got Sayujya Mukti, and the people who obtain Sayujya Mukti will have to come back to the material world. They will fall down. And who do you think he became? Any idea? Who is Shishupal in Kali Yuga? No idea? Satyuga Hiranyakashipu. Treta Yuga Ravana. Dwapar Yuga Shishupal. Kali Yuga? No one knows. Very famous demons. Two twin demons. Demons as in bad people. They are brothers. No idea? Jagai.
Jagai Madai.
Very well, exactly. Shishupal, Dantavakra both came back in the form of Jagai Madai, and they became devotees. Nityananda Prabhu made them devotees. They chanted, they followed the regulative principles. Only then they went back as Dwarapalakas of Vaikuntha, Jaya Vijay. Okay, so this is to teach us that, yeah, as demons, even if you get killed by the hands of Krishna, if you're not a favorable devotee of the Lord, then you have to come back to the material world, even if you are a Vaikuntha Vasi, like Jaya Vijay. Even if you are a Vaikuntha Vasi, you have to come back. There is no other way other than offering devotion service to the Lord if you want to get rid of this world. Right? So Jagai Madai, by the mercy of a devotee, that is Nityananda Prabhu, they started offering devotional service. Only after they became Pakwa, right? Pakka devotees, proper devotees, they were given their position back. Otherwise, they had to again come back. Can you imagine? Right? So, this is the chance that we've got. Right? So, a lot of people misunderstand the 9 processes of devotional service. Oh, Smaranam, just think about Krishna. What is the use of, why should we think only something that pleases Krishna? We can think about other things also about Krishna. Right? So, if you think about Krishna in an unfavorable way, then note down that we have to come back again. Right? We are not going to get entry into the spiritual world. We will still be in the Brahmajyoti region itself, right? So that is Sayujya Mukti. So we have to get Goloka entry, not even Vaikuntha. We all want Goloka, right? Goloka is even higher to Vaikuntha. So for that, how much devotion service we have to do, right? So thinking unfavorably itself is giving you spiritual, that glimpse, right? Brahmajyoti Mukti. Then imagine if you think little favorably, how much will Krishna accept you, right? Putana was given a position of a mother for feeding poison. She got position of a mother and she became eternal Goloka resident. Then what will we, if you will not feed poison to Krishna, you will feed milk to Krishna. Imagine what kind of position you will get, right? So little swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Right? So little bit of pure devotion service. The intention needs to be good. Then we will also become, we can also go to Goloka and Krishna will become very sweet to us. He will start exchanging the rasa that we all want, right? If you feed him, he will eat. If you want to cook, he will say yes, right? So that kind of reciprocation will start. That Bhakta Vatsalya will start, right? That's very important. Our goal should be that. Mm. Yeah, we have to hold on to the feet of our spiritual master. With his recommendation, we please Radharani and then Krishna. Hari bol. Otherwise, it's impossible. Maya is so strong. One, they like literally many senior devotees also say this, that we are all in the same boat. Maybe the senior devotee whom I was asking this question, no? My question was how to reach that prema stage. It is so difficult. I'm still in this bhajana kriya sadhu sangha stage only, not able to progress. So what do we do? So that senior devotee, you know what he told me? He was like, don't worry, we are all in the same boat. Maybe we are little more, I have more number of experience, no number of years of experience in bhakti. So maybe I'm 1 kilometer, you know, forward in a boat which is 1 kilometer ahead, but still in the boat only, still traveling only. Can you imagine? So it's very difficult. So only Shravanam will help. As Prabhupada says, always listen to lectures. Some or the other lecture. That's the only thing. See, even if we get morning Bhagavatam class, even if you do your morning sadhana properly, during the day there are 90% of chances there for us to get contaminated. Forget Krishna, because we are not pure devotees, right? So in between also during the day we need reminders. So that reminders only these lectures will give. Lectures are very important. Just keep listening to Prabhupada Vani. There's Instagram page, right, which says Vani, Prabhupada Vani, some Vani something, Vanipedia something, right? So follow these pages. They're all just 1 minute reels only, right? From Prabhupada. So keep playing them, keep listening to them, right? That only helps. Otherwise, it's very difficult. During the day also, it's very difficult. Next. व्यवहितप्रतनमुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजनवधाद्विमुखस्य दोषभूद्या कुमतिमर अहरदात्मविद्याया चरणरति परमास्य तस्य मेस्तु. Hi Krishna, you can all repeat. व्यवहितप्रतनमुखं निरीक्ष्य
व्यवहितप्रतरामुहं निरीक्ष्य
स्वजनवधाद्विमुखस्य दोषभूत्या
स्वजनवदाद्विमुखस्य दोषभूत्या
कुमतिमहरदात्मविद्याया
Kumati
कुमतिमहरदात्मविद्याय
चरणरति परमास्य तस्य मेस्तु.
Charanarati Paramasya
When Arjuna was seemingly polluted by ignorance upon observing the soldiers and commanders before him on the battlefield, the Lord eradicated his ignorance by delivering transcendental knowledge. May his lotus feet always remain in the object of my attraction. So, what is this transcendental knowledge that he delivered? What do we call that?
Bhagavad Gita, Mataji.
Bhagavad Gita, exactly. Yeah, Puppet, who wants to read? Hare Krishna. Yeah, continue, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji, Hare Krishna. The kings and the commanders were to stand in front of the fighting soldiers. That was the system of actual fighting. The kings and commanders were not so called presidents or ministers of defense as they are today. They would not stay home while the poor soldiers or mercenaries were fighting face to face. This may be the regulation of modern democracy, but when actual monarchy was prevailing, the monarchs were not elected without consideration of qualification. As it was evident from the battlefield of Kurukshetra, all the executive heads of both the parties, like Drona, Bhishma, Arjuna, and Duryodhana, were not sleeping. All of them were actual participants in the fighting, which was selected to be executed at a place away from the civil residential quarters. This means that the innocent citizens were immune from all effects of fighting between the rival royal parties. The citizens had no business in saying what was going to happen during such fighting. They were to pay 1/4 of their income to the ruler, whether he be Arjuna or Duryodhana. All the commanders of the parties on the battlefield of Kurukshetra were standing face to face, and Arjuna saw them with great compassion and lamented that he was to kill his kinsmen on the battlefield for the sake of the empire. He was not at all afraid of the giant military phalanx presented by Duryodhana, but as a merciful devotee of the Lord, renunciation of worldly things was natural for him, and thus he decided not to fight for worldly possessions. But this was due to a poor fund of knowledge, and therefore it is said here that his intelligence became polluted. His intelligence could not be polluted at any time because he was a devotee and constant companion of the Lord, as is clear in the fourth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Apparently, Arjuna's intelligence became polluted because otherwise there would not have been a chance to deliver the teachings of Bhagavad Gita for the good of all polluted conditioned souls engaged in material bondage by the conception of the false material body. The Bhagavad Gita was delivered to the conditioned souls of the world to deliver them from the wrong conception of identifying the body with the soul and to re-establish the soul's eternal relation with the Supreme Lord. Atma Vidya, or transcendental knowledge of himself, was primarily spoken by the Lord for the benefit of all concerned in all parts of the universe. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, so very nice. Here it says seemingly polluted. That means Arjuna is not really polluted. Seemingly, Krishna's arrangement. Krishna made him, made him get bewildered. It's all Krishna's yoga maya that's acting. Otherwise, Bhagavad Gita will not come into existence, right? So Krishna, whatever he does, he will choose and do it only with devotees, not with non-devotees. So whether he wants to fight, whether he wants to give some knowledge, right, like Bhagavad Gita, or whether whatever it is, whether he wants to dance, whether he wants to cry, whoever, whatever it is, he will choose only devotees to take part in that particular pastime, right? And Arjuna, who is Arjuna? Eternally, who is Arjuna? What is his constitutional position? No one knows. Goloka. Who is Arjuna in Goloka?
Vishaka Saki Mataji.
Vishaka Saki, yeah, exactly. He's Vishaka Saki. Like just now, Ramya Mataji went to Vrindavan and came, right? So who did you see in Vrindavan, Ramya Mataji, along with Krishna and Radha?
Lalita and
Lalita
Visaki.
and Vishaka, right? So that same
Yeah.
Vishaka Saki is Arjuna. Can you imagine? So she came back in the form of Arjuna when Krishna came to this world in Dwapar Yuga, right? So Arjuna is not an ordinary person. He is Vishaka Saki in Goloka, right? Close friend, best friend. Lalita and Vishaka are very, very close friends of Radharani, right? And Krishna. Okay, so he can never get contaminated. It is Krishna's arrangement by which they got by which he got contaminated, right? Because otherwise Bhagavad Gita will not come out, right? Same thing happened to Shukadeva Goswami, right? So what happened to Shukadeva Goswami? How did Srimad Bhagavatam come to this world? Who is Shukadeva Goswami? Constitutionally, who is he?
Son of Vyasadeva and parrot of Radharani.
Parrot of Radharani. So he is actually parrot in Goloka. So what happened? He got cursed. So some mistake he made. It's not a mistake. Again, Krishna's arrangement. Okay, Krishna made him do the mistake. So while see the parrot, there are 2-3 parrots, no, of Radharani. So Shuka parrot is one of the parrots, and this parrot has to go all around Goloka, search for a nice pastime place for Radha Krishna to perform their leelas, okay, every day. And the parrot should report it to Vrinda Devi, that is Tulsi Maharani. And then Tulsi Maharani will make arrangements with all the Sakhis so that Radha Krishna can come there to that particular place, chosen place, and do their leela for that day. Okay, that is how the routine goes in Goloka. Now, this parrot once by mistake, okay, instead of reporting the place to Tulsi Maharani, the parrot directly went and reported it to Radharani. That's actually wrong, right? Tulsi Maharani is in charge. So so Radharani was like, "Oh, what did you do? You actually did an offense to Tulsi Maharani. You're supposed to go tell her, but you told me, right?" And Krishna got to know, and Krishna told, "Oh my God, you actually committed a big offense. It's not even an offense, right?" The parrot was actually very ecstatic, very happy. So he came and directly told Radharani, right? So, but the Radha and Krishna made it so big, and Krishna was like, no, you committed a very abominable sin and all that. You have to go to earth now, right? Because you are cursed. Now you did an offense, so it is wrong. It's a mistake. You have to go to earth. So Shukadeva Goswami got, so I mean, that Shuka parrot came to earth in the form of Shukadeva Goswami, in the form of son of Vyasadeva, and to why, to narrate Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise Bhagavatam will not come to this world. So Krishna was so anxious. He was like, Bhagavatam has to come to the world somehow. So he chose the dearest devotee, Shuka parrot, and sent, right? So to the world to give us all Srimad Bhagavatam. So this way Krishna puts the pure devotees into bewilderment, and that is seeming. Just outwardly it looks like that's it, but they are not actually contaminated, right? And then to bring something nectarian out of it, right? And that's what Krishna did here also. And one second, right? Yeah, now here we talk about ideal king, right? Prabhupada says, like in the purport, if you see, Prabhupada is actually scolding us, people who are voting, plus the people who are voted also. You can see. Right? Here he's saying, see, the king should actually not sleep. Today, all the governing people are actually aram se at home. Who is actually fighting for us? Army people. That too at the borders. Right? So, here Prabhupada says that that is not the way. Actually, it is the king or the ruling, the leader who is supposed to be at the forefront. Right? Not sitting and enjoying, sleeping. Right? See, Prabhupada is saying they were not sleeping. They, all of them were actual participants in the war, right? And he also says we people who are voting them is also polluted. People who are voted are also polluted, right? No kshatriya qualities are there. Simply someone is becoming the king. I mean, ruler, leader, or whatever political leaders. Okay, and nobody is actually doing anything for the people. What they are doing is just holding on to their chair. Oh, my position will go, my position will go. That's it. Right? So that's what Prabhupada is saying. Now, then, who is the king? Who should be the ideal king? Any idea? Prabhupada is saying all of today what is happening, it's just political drama. There is no king, there is no leader. Right? So, who is the real king? Or who should be the real king? Any idea? No idea? You can take examples. Any examples from the Shastras where, I mean, in Bhagavatam, every Bhagavatam Katha has a king in it, right? So, any kings you want to name who is an ideal king?
Prithu Maharaj.
Prithu
Mataji,
Maharaj.
yeah,
Okay.
like Parikshit Maharaj, who has complete knowledge of Vedas and then ruled Bharata.
So, Parikshit Maharaj with full knowledge of the Vedas, and he ruled well. And
Ambarish Maharaj.
Ambrish Maharaj. Haribol, what is Ambrish Maharaj famous for?
All the 9 types of devotional service.
All the 9 types, right? He was a king, but at the same time, he was a pure devotee of the Lord. Yes. And Prithu Maharaj, as Renuka Mataji said, right? He is an empowered incarnation of the Lord. He's again an ideal king. Who else? Other
Sri
king?
Ram.
Sri
Janaka
Ram.
Maharaj.
Haribol, Ramaraja. The Lord himself came and showed us what a king should be, how a king should be. That's nice. Then,
Krishna himself.
Krishna himself, establishing dharma, supporting dharma. Yes. Then,
Janaka Maharaj.
Janaka Maharaj. Yeah. He is one of the Mahajanas, one of the 12 Dwadasha Mahajanas. Then so many kings. Every story has a king in Bhagavatam. Then that's it. Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yeah, he is also a wonderful king. Yeah, let's read more about these kings and come to an understanding of what are the qualities that made these kings ideal. Okay, so Prabhupada has told in the purports, these are all small, snippets from the purports, purports of Prabhupada compiled together. Okay, you can go to Vani Quotes. So in Vani Quotes, it's a very nice page. Okay, so all Prabhupada's quotes regarding a particular topic, all Prabhupada's purports, no, few statements they'll compile and give it to us. Like full, all cantos it consists of. Can you imagine? Right? So here it talks about Parikshit Maharaj. So it is said ki in Parikshit Maharaj time, everything was so good that river was flowing properly, hills were full of minerals, oceans were full of corals and pearls and everything, right? Everything was doing its duty. Can you imagine? So now, ocean means water, right? Hill means earth, right? The five Panchamahabhutas that we have. All these Panchamahabhutas, they are material or spiritual? Air, water, fire, ether, earth, these are all material or spiritual? What do you think? Krishna says, no, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhumi, Rapo, Anilo, Vayu. These are all fragmented energies of the Lord. They are all energies of the Lord, but they are material energies or spiritual energies? What do you think?
Spiritual Mataji.
Spiritual Mataji.
Spiritual energies.
Then why are they here in the material world? Like Radharani is spiritual energy of the Lord, no? So she is in the spiritual world. She is not here. Durga Devi is the material energy of the Lord, no? So she is here. If air, water and all this was spiritual, then why are they here?
Mataji, it is for us, Mataji, like how spiritual masters descend to this world. So that is how this gross elements are for us, Mataji. God sent.
Okay, that's an interesting. But why for us? What should we do with them?
We cannot survive without the elements, Mataji. Panjabhuta
Okay, that
Shaktis.
means they are material, no? We want to live, so we are inhaling air and exhaling air. We want to take bath, so we are using water. That means they are all material, no? Spiritual master takes us to the spiritual world. These things take us to the spiritual world? No? Yes? I'm pulling all your legs actually. Okay, do not mind. So basically, yeah, Prabhu, you wanna add?
Mataji, like spiritual master, even the water cleanses our body and makes us, gives way to think of Lord Mataji. So to perform the rituals, pujas and so on, water is used. And then to smell the flowers that are offered for the Lord, to smell tulasi, and for that air is used. The fragrance is transferred, comes through air. Likewise, each and every element is helpful, Mataji, in a way.
Haribol. Wow, such a deep understanding. I had not thought of this angle. Very nice. Yeah, Archana Mataji.
Mataji, our gross body is made up of all the five elements.
Yeah.
So they are material.
Yeah, they are material. So, gross body is made of 5 elements, so it belongs to material. And as Giridhar Prabhu told, Giridhar Prabhu gave an altogether different level of understanding, right? How you can use all of these gross and all of this into spiritual. Okay, so we have actually a meeting right now. We'll just finish this and then we will wind up. Okay, all these qualities we will see in the next class. So basically, the differentiation comes with the purpose you use it for, right? So if air is used for our enjoyment, then it is material. If the same air is used for Krishna's enjoyment, then it becomes spiritual, right? Like earth. Earth, you can take earth and use it for making diyas. If you light diyas and because it's dark, you want light in your room, then it is material. You're using it for your own enjoyment. But if the same diya, if you use it for lighting, right, in the altar, then it becomes spiritual, right? Because you're using it for the satisfaction of the Lord. Same diya, everything is same. The diya is not changed at all. But the purpose of what you're using the diya for has changed. That makes diya spiritual or material. Can you imagine? So everything, not just these five Panchamahabhutas, actually everything, okay, everything in both here, wherever it is, whatever it is, if you're using it for yourself, then it is material, right? Some people use chanting for karma kanda. Oh, if I chant, I want job, so I'll chant. I want this, so I'll chant, right? So that becomes material, karma kanda. It's actually one of the 10 offenses to the holy name also, right? But if the same chanting, if you do to please the Lord, then it is spiritual, right? So whatever and however, wherever, if the purpose for what you're using it for makes all the difference, right? So we'll end here. We'll continue this tomorrow. We actually have a meeting now. Hare Krishna, thank you all. Vancha kalpadrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavindi ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
All
Krishna
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji.